Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got B-ball breakdown. Coach and Nick. How James Harden destroyed the Celtics. Game 1, 76ers versus Celtics. 2023 playoffs.
With Joel Embiid unable to play, the Sixers were supposed to show up, take their beating, and leave the gym in
Why does Jaylen Brown still have on a mask?
Speaking of which, this
he
guy
can see.
did not get that memo and decided to put on a show that carried his teammates all the way down to the wire, culminating in a playoff career high in points while embarrassing the Celtics coaching staff and reminding us all of who he is, James freaking staff. Culminating in a
who is he yelling at?
In points,
bro, who is you yelling at?
Embarrassing the Celtics coaching staff and reminding us all of who he is, James freaking Harden.
Should have dunked that. You too old to dunk now, Harden?
Nothing that frustrates me more than a playoff game where defensive adjustments aren't being made to combat an onslaught like we saw from Harden. He was the only game in town for the Sixers offense while he was on the court, and yet they continue to guard him the same way almost the entire game. Al Horford was his frequent target as they allowed him to drop and give the ball a 10-foot cushion.
Old man.
I suppose to begin the game, it's a sound strategy to see if Harden is feeling it, but the risk is that you're allowing him to
drop coverage on Harden.
By this point in the third quarter,
you can't
Harden
do that.
was 10 for 17 for 23 points and 4 assists, and yet they allow him to just dribble into a relatively open 18-footer. I know analytics say let them take these shots, but if you're Boston, make anybody else beat you. Here's another drop as we're nearing crunch time, and while Smart did his best, the idea that you're not blasting Harden to get it out of his hands with 5 seconds in the shot clock is coaching criminality.
You should have blitzed him.
This was even worse.
But you not.
Harden had an open 3 if he wanted it, but decides to become part of their pistol action on the right side, which forces a switch of Brown onto him. Good job to get around the handoff as Horford is dropped.
This man didn't even set a screen. This symbol right here means screen.
Forces a switch of Brown on.
This symbol right here means set a screen. This man didn't even set it.
Good job to get around the.
You gonna try to screen on Jaylen Brown to get. Oh, that's McDaniel. I thought it was Maxey. Man, ain't no 3-point shooter. Never mind, Harden.
Flip for the ball screen. Horford is just watching at the elbow as yet another Harden wide open triple rips the net. You might wonder why I'm so frustrated with the defense here, and it's because this is the same issue we saw with Trae Young in the first round that almost forced them to play 7 games.
You did the same thing with Trae Young? Oh, man, yeah, you're in trouble. Harden is bigger. Harden is bigger and stronger. You can't do that.
The vast majority were simply pick and rolls where Horford would drop way back and Young would abuse him in all variety of finish. The coverage wasn't just for Horford. Robert Williams was also dropping, despite poor weak side spacing by the Sixers that would have allowed for him to blast the ball with 5 seconds in the shot clock and force the Sixers into something much harder. There are so many things you can do to adjust. On a sideline out of bounds, you could have sent Jaylen Brown up to guard McDaniels and kept Williams in the block, then switch the pick and roll with a good defender on him. Instead, it's another drop, and Harden just works Brogdon into the paint for a wide.
This man's about to fall down on his ass. Look.
It's another drop.
Look at Brogdon.
Works Brogdon into the paint for a wide open. Aside from pre-switching the pick and roll, you could play box and 1, 2-3 zone, double him on the wing.
2-3 zone.
Spacing, it would have been easy to send Brogdon
on my basketball team. That's all we played. That's defense, either man-to-man or 2-3 zone.
A hard double that forces out of Harden's hands. Instead,
1-3 or 1-3-1
for another easy 15-footer. They wanted to target Williams again by forcing this switch. Why not double him and see if McDaniels can do something with the ball? Instead, he's allowed to do his delayed dribble game with the clock under 5 seconds and gets no help rotation until the ball's already out of his hands. I've been advocating for Harden to post up for years now, and for some reason he passes up another wide open 3 to go to work down low. Maxey is the only other perimeter threat, so don't leave him, but you've got 3 Sixers bunched up on the weak side. Send Tatum over there right away to double while Horford and Brown zone up the backside to cover any skip passes. While Marcus Smart has a defensive reputation, I don't think it's completely merited as Harden muscles through his verticality for a close shot. Here's another post-up in the fourth, and while the Sixers spacing was better on this one, it's just not okay that Rob Williams is so concerned with a guy that did not take one shot all game rather than go double and get it out of Harden's hands. I caught one possession where they did run a second defender at him, and it went very well for the Sixers as their sharpshooter George Niang hits an open 3. Let's see why it worked. By flashing McDaniels to the high post, Brown has to rotate to him. Harden smartly retreat dribbles to pull the double team even farther out, but watch when the pass is thrown, and then watch when Brown begins his closeout. It's 2 steps too late. He could afford to give McDaniels another step of space toward Niang, and had he closed out on time, I doubt Niang gets it off clean. The Sixers were prepared well for the double team with the flash cut to the elbow. The best way to handle this would have been for Brown to go to the ball and Horford to quickly sink down on Reed. Instead, both Tatum and Brown collapse to the ball, and that leaves Tobias Harris completely wide open for the 3.
And Tatum turned his back too. Crazy, man.
To the ball, and that
crazy. He's guard. Everyone thinks they guarding Melton. They say guarding Patty Melton. What do you do?
Tobias Harris completely wide open for the 3. I hope Coach Mazzulla looks at this footage and comes up with a different game
Mazzulla,
plan.
buddy.
Man,
Mazzulla, y'all see how well you can make adjustments, buddy.
and it's fun to see Harden go off like this. And if you want the chance to win some money on his production or any other NBA player, then you have to head over to UnderdogFantasy.com and check. Why it's so important to get the damn ball out of Harden's hands. Here's an example with a double Harden off the ball screen and Time Lord gets within sniffing distance.
What was that, man? What is this?
Here's an example with a double Harden off the ball screen and Time Lord gets within sniffing distance on the closeout, and it's not even close to going in, with the Celtics escaping without giving up a point at the
Tobias?
end of the first.
What is going on?
Sent a double at him above the 3-point line because of those 2 bombs, which helped the Sixers outscore the Celtics 17-10 from behind the arc. But then we see defense like Smart going on the high side of this pin down, which gives Harden a wide open 3. And it's clear they allowed him to be way too comfortable all game long, and it will ultimately doom them.
There's gonna be even more space out there once Embiid comes back too. MVP Embiid comes back. There's gonna be even more space out there.
The Celtics played well enough to have control of this game with 2 minutes left, as the Sixers inexplicably let a guy who had gone 0 for 5 in the fourth quarter up till this point attack the weak spot in Horford, but make that 0 for 6. Now, a guy like Smart isn't a shot creator. He's at his best when he's operating out of an offense that can create closeouts for him to attack, like this pick and pop that gets him penetrating to the middle for the kick out.
That's why I say Smart thinks he's nice. Like, he thinks he's a creator, but he's not a creator. Like, at his best, he's a dude that attacks closeouts.
For him to attack.
Like, you're not a creator, buddy. Like you only get your own.
Pop that gets him penetrating to the middle.
He shoots too many threes for my liking.
Drive, he gets the rebound.
On defense, he's great. He's probably all-time great on defense. It's just his offense. That's it.
But Tatum loses his balance. Was he tripped? It doesn't look like it, but maybe part of Harden's shoe clipped his foot. But the refs can't call something unless they're sure of it. The last 2-minute report does say it was an incorrect no call, but Secaucus must have a better replay angle than we have. And those free throws they didn't get proved crucial, as the 5-on-4 on the other end finds Maxey hurtling to the basket. Now, Marcus Smart is usually among the league leaders in charges taken, but in this situation, he didn't even start to get into position until Maxey had planted his left foot into the jump.
Dude was already in the paint once he already. This I'm gonna take this charge.
You have to know the rules and when it's worth risking it. If you're not in legal guarding position before the offensive player begins,
and he's still moving. He's still moving too.
A block. This was an easy call.
Look, he's still moving.
There's an extra point that they
he's moving. Look at his foot.
Will be a block. This was an
look at his foot.
And it gave
look at his right foot. Marcus Smart right foot.
There's an extra point
that joint's still moving.
Back. Putting the ball in Tatum's hands.
You can't fool nobody, baby. You can't fool me. I'm familiar with your game.
As he rejects the screen and collapses the defense. PJ Tucker correctly rotates over, but why is Reed jumping to the midline? That puts him 2 whole steps out of position.
Who's guarding 2 people, bro?
He needs to close out to the corner. The rebound goes right to where Maxey would have been standing, while Tucker had done the traditional box out by turning his whole body away from the basket. And
why are you turning your whole body away, bro? Just box out the dude right. Yo, just box out one of these 2 right here, bro. You would have got the rebound easily.
The rim, so he's slow to react to it. This one is tough as Horford comes.
Then he wants to yell at. I saw a clip. He was yelling at on Paul Reed. Bro, correctly, box out correctly.
Traditional.
He said, what are you talking about? You know what I'm talking about, PJ. You want to face guard Marcus Smart. Bro, just box him out like normal people.
Out by turning.
Hey, you treating Marcus Smart like he's Moses Malone or something, bro.
His whole body away from the basket and only tracking the ball with his
that man's Bill Russell. Just box him out.
When it hits the rim.
How'd you turn your back to the ball?
So he's slow to react to it. This one is tough as Horford comes flying in from the 3-point line to grab another offensive.
Oh man, got another rebound?
The Sixers defense has been scrambled too much as Smart makes the good pass to Horford. Let's see how they now defend the pick and roll with Horford involved.
High pick and roll is high.
We see a pre-switch with Smart, and that forces Harden to reset.
Cross
but
switch.
They had another chance to switch with Tatum and didn't do it. I know Tatum needs to be within arm's length of Tucker within 3 seconds, but how can he turn his head like this and not know where the...
I tell you all the time, man.
Arm's length.
You gotta see man and ball, not just your man.
Of Tucker within...
Not just the ball, but man and ball.
Seconds. But
I'll be in perfect position right now, bro.
How can he turn his head like
I'll leave PJ Tucker open right here. No one passing him the ball. I'll go and double Harden right here, right then and here. I'll double Harden right now if I'm the Celtics. He's out of bounds. PJ Tucker's out of bounds, bro. Oh, come on, I'm doubling Harden.
Where the ball is. Smart ends up fouling him, but Tatum could have been there earlier to force him into something different.
Yeah, I would have been there earlier too.
Weird.
Your man Tatum, man that your guard is standing out of bounds, buddy.
See,
and you ain't even know.
Ended up committing 16 turnovers in this game, and although they didn't have a turnover problem in the regular season or the first round, there have been issues in the past with taking care of the ball.
Jaylen Brown, he be doing too much. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes Brown be doing too much. Sometimes he a low key ball.
White shouldn't be bringing the ball up and initiating the offense at this stage of the playoffs. But with the ball in Malcolm Brogdon's hands, you can expect great decisions. Tucker helps on the split screen, but then calls for a needless switch. This puts Harris in a long closeout at a weird angle, but they handle that okay, and Smart does lure 2 defenders, but his pass is off target, eliminating the catch and shoot for Tatum. Now, with less than a second on the clock, this must be a quick pull-up we've seen Brogdon do 1,000 times in his career, but instead, he
passes his chokes.
Bullet to Maxey?
Yup, he passed it right to Tucker. He thought Tatum was gonna stay right there. But Tatum not getting that shot off in 0.7 seconds. Baby!
But instead, he literally fires a bullet to Maxey? A split second later, and it's a shot clock violation. Sixers ball out of bounds. But instead, it's a lead-changing layup with under 30 seconds. Can you hear me shaking my head?
Yeah, I can hear me shaking my head.
Need to go quick. Nice call to get Tatum spinning on the catch and into free throws to retake the lead. But after all we've gone through to this point, I'm stunned that they let Horford switch onto Harden with this high pick and roll.
Stupid, bro. Dude saying the screen is not even a threat to score. The dude that your guard is not a threat to score. Double him. Double the dude with the ball. That's a threat to score.
Him to have picked up Tucker and been the primary defender. At this point, after those threes they made, I get why they don't want to run a second guy at him, but this is just too easy of a shot. In rhythm, good vision of the rim, and now the Celtics have to come up with something good. Here's what's supposed to happen. They pass to Smart in the low post, who then looks for A, Tatum cutting back door to the basket, or B, Brown coming off this pin down from Horford, who would then slip to the hoop looking for the pass. Before I show you what actually happened, let me explain the Marcus Smart experience. He's a guy who can score, but it can get awkward really quickly.
Yep.
His drives are always...
That's why I said dude thinks he's nice. He's like Desmond Bain. Like Desmond Bain thinks he's nice with the dribble, but he is suspect. It's still suspect.
And in this game, he was able to make a couple of them work, but he tries to do too much. I imagine he thinks he's got more ability than he really does, and it leads to wild plays like this forced drive into the lane and loss of possession. He can make a nice pass for an assist, but he'll also force the ball when it's not open while trying to make a read on the run, or try something fancy that can blow up spectacularly.
He's all similar turnovers to Russ do it, but no one's talking about when Smart does it. No one talks about it. What do you do? But when Russ does it,
make a read on the run, or try something fancy that can blow up spectacularly and drive any coach nuts. Plus, he does stuff like this. A completely unnecessary dive for a loose ball he had absolutely no hope of getting, and I think he injured himself from it with this fake hustle. This play was very similar to the final out-of-bounds play, as Smart gets the ball in the post, and while it's supposed to be a flare screen for Horford and a skip pass, he simply doesn't see Tobias Harris had been waiting for it. Based on this terrible turnover, it was remarkable
Where did he
that
come
Missouri
from?
would trust him again with the game on the line. I can guarantee you the play was supposed to go to either Brown or Tatum. Instead, he never even looked.
First of all,
Guarantee you the play was supposed to go to either Brown.
no one set a screen on Tatum's man. First of all, no one set a screen on Tatum's man. So obviously you're gonna do a backdoor cut, set a screen on his man, so he can cut backdoor easily.
Instead, he never even looks that way until he's stuck up in the air in close quarters with a cutter that he knew was going to be.
And simple basketball 1-on-1 again. This man tried to make a pass when he was in midair. You can't. Don't leave the air. Don't leave the floor when trying to make a pass. That's basketball 1-on-1, bro. Y'all deserve to lose that game.
He throws it away, the Sixers make their free throws, and now the prospect of losing home court advantage.
Don't ever leave the ground to make a pass. Ever.
has to make the Celtics very worried.
Ever.
Perhaps
unless it's like a 2-on-1 fast break, then you can get away with it. But other than that, no.
Better when he's back. But if Harden keeps rolling like this, Boston could end up between a rock and a Harden place.
Ooh, a nice bar. Coach.